Hey, James from Larry's Club here. This week in tip number 110, we're actually going to be going through we're still in lesson book 1 from our math kit 1, just showing you a little bit, giving you some sample lessons. In this case, today we're going to go through a lesson that emphasizes the tactile style of learning. So what tactile is, essentially it's touch. And there's a difference between kinesthetic and tactile. Tactile is very like kind of the fine motor skills with the hands. Kinesthetic is the larger kind of like dancing, moving your body, sort of large muscle groups, versus tactile is the small muscle groups like what's in your fingertips or what's in your face, or what's in on your toes and whatnot. So today you're actually going to be talking about lesson number 114 in Math Book 1, which is surface area. So today we're going to be teaching kids about how to understand what surface area means, as well as working with some of our unit cubes. So what you can do is you can start out with a couple of these unit cubes on your mat. You want to pick one up eventually. You want to just have the child maybe play with one or two of them, and then you want to pull one out and you want to say to them, hold up a single cube and show it to them, and say, "This is a cube." Now you're going to point to each of the 6 sides. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to point to each of the 6 sides, and you're going to say, "This is a side." So this is a side. This is a side. This is a side. And this is a side. So you'll be able to show them what it means to have a side. Now hand the cube to the child and say, "You may show me a side." So they'll pick it up, they'll look at it, and maybe they'll point to, say, the first side right here, and they'll say, "This is a side." And they'll say, "Very good." Now you'll ask them, is each side the same? Now with a cube, you want them to kind of take a look at it and say, okay, yes, they're all about the same. Now if they don't, if they say no, they're different, or oh, this side has a mark on it, you say, "Good, but is it the same size as the others?" So you want them to understand that sides, even though this may have a different pattern on it, you want them to understand the concept of how big each one of these is. So again, we're introducing surface area here, tactile, because you want them to basically feel it with their fine motor muscles and feel and understand what a side is, be able to touch it, point to it. So again, they're pointing to it, they're using that tactile part of the brain, and that is how you would use a tactile lesson. So if you wanted to use another lesson, maybe to teach about triangles or cones, or sort of other shapes like globes, spheres, ovals, again, you would be able to hand them something maybe like an egg, and be able to have them, let them feel the egg on the outside. Maybe it's a hard-boiled egg because you don't want them to break it, make a mess. You want them to feel it and say, "Oh, well, this is an oval," or "Oh, is it like a sphere?" You want to be able to touch it and be able to see it. So that's how you use a tactile lesson using Montessori in your homeschool. Go ahead and leave a comment below if you felt like this lesson was helpful, or if you have any questions, or if you can think of another lesson that uses the tactile style of learning that you could start using today, and share it with other parents who are also looking to use Montessori. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.